Yes, ayan. Test. Good morning, everyone. Good morning on our Thursday live chat. Are you guys ready? If you're heading to your workplace, please make sure grab a cup of coffee and please drive safe. But for those of you just at home, just join with us on the next 45 minutes as we will go over what are what are the challenges that you're encountering right now. And if you have challenges, did you know that those are all hidden opportunities? All you have to do is on our comment section, we would like to have an interactive dynamic conversation. Please type one challenge it's that you're experiencing right now, either financial, family, relationship, whatever it is, or maybe you're just thinking about what to eat later. That's also a struggle, but this will not be possible, the Chris and Jill live chat, without my co-host, the Chris and Jill. It's a live chat that's serving the global community of entrepreneurs. This is a healthy conversations for growth, service, and progress. Our vision is to provide a world-class digital global space where mentors and coaches are learnings or share learnings, education, and programs to enrich the knowledge, the skills, the mindset of the global entrepreneurs. Our mission is to educate, empower, and inspire the global community of entrepreneurs and build and inspire a generation of thought leaders, influencers, and dream builders to create and support a digital network for present and future entrepreneurs. The values: educate, empower, and engage. But speaking of coach, this will not be possible without my co-host for today. She is a serial entrepreneur, community leader, business coach. She has a great passion for writing, entrepreneurship, social media management, personality development, and a public speaker. She's a licensed occupational therapist and runs her company, the Excellence Therapy Solutions in Dallas, Texas. She's also the president or the chair of the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce, and then she's also received an outstanding occupational therapy award from National Therapy Service. No other than our amazing, stunning Coach Jill.
Good morning, Chris. Your energy is so infectious. We need that for this very cold Thursday morning. And to everyone, our viewers, rise and shine. We have a great morning today. And Chris, I'm very excited because today we're going to answer a very important question. How do we transform the challenges in our lives into opportunities for growth and success and greatness? And I'm very excited. We have a very exciting guest that you will introduce later. But Chris, when you look at the many experiences that we have, it's actually those difficult circumstances, the failure, the moments of doubt that really becomes a launching pad for your greatness. So I'm very excited to dwell on that as we moved along with our conversations this morning.
Exactly. That's why what I've always remember is sometimes the strongest part of the bone is the one that is broken. Because you know what, when you are experiencing challenges, like on my end, when I decided to quit my job because I want to have a time and financial freedom, and becoming an entrepreneur is the road less traveled. But you know what? When you find that kind of passion, you have to fight for it despite against all odds. We do not get what we want. We get what we fight for. And every challenges are footsteps to your success. You just have to embrace, do not ignore, and enjoy the process. Because the diamond will never be diamond without friction. There you go.
That's Yeah, that's very true, Chris. And when you look at the many people who have become very successful, they've went through a lot of hardships.
Mhm.
Just a case in point, Sanders, the owner and the founder of KFC, which is my favorite fried chicken, by the way,
Yes. Mhm.
he was at the age of 65 years old when
Mhm.
he founded that recipe and turned that recipe into a multi-million industry. And so those are just really lessons when you don't give up and you transform those opportunities into moments of greatness.
Exactly. That's why the successful people leave tracks for us to follow. All we have
Yes.
to do is be obsessed and then type their biography in YouTube, and then we will have leads on how to get where they are. Success comes at any age. The same thing, it reminds me of Oprah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Jack Ma. That's
Yeah.
why we have our amazing, we have our inspiring guest today. He's from California. I've known him for the past 10 years. I'd like to introduce and welcome. We breathe the same air because we are all health professionals. He is the first immigrant on his family and considered as a breadwinner. He works as intensive care unit. I used to work in the operating room. Your
We're all
occupational therapist
frontliners.
build, right? Yeah, so we can even build our own home health. Then he works for us a registered intensive care unit, left nursing to pursue the road of being an entrepreneur. Now this all his accomplishments. He has a financial service in the USA that operates in 10 states plus has four, not three, but four operational business in
Wow.
Philippines, a gym, med spa, printing, and internet provider business.
That's
I was
amazing.
listening to Tony Gonzaga. She said that you can define successful people are those people that would like to have other people to become successful. And this is
Yeah.
a true definition of this person because he's also he has an advocacy of feeding the less fortunate families in the Philippines, especially in the hometown of Cagayan de Oro. You guys live, I think you guys live on the same.
Chris, I come from Cagayan de Oro, so I'm very proud of my fellow Cagayanan.
But not only that, he also has five scholars. I do support one. He got five five scholars in the Philippines in Kenya. So let us all welcome no other than our entrepreneur and finance expert, no other than Mr. Welmer Neri. Choo, 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 choo. Welmer, kamusta?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much, Chris, for and Jill for hosting this amazing event. It's really an opportunity for us to connect and an opportunity for us to share our stories and mindsets so that we can create an inspiration to other people. And this would not happen if not with your effort and Jill's effort at the same time. So thank you so much for this opportunity to share what I can share, in that way we can bring awareness and inspiration to other people.
And thank you for having us.
No, thank you. Yeah, thank you. So it's amazing because we are all healthcare providers, and I firmly believe that we are more than just our work. So that's why we are creating another identity, because we are really bound for greatness. I 100% believe in that. Yeah.
Then how did you start in America? Because we are all immigrants. Tell us the challenges of being a first year immigrant from the time that you bought your plane ticket to the Philippines, you have the despedida, but you have this
Mhm.
fear of the unknown. Can you walk us through to your footsteps to the
Yeah.
US?
Yeah. So this is a little disclaimer. I have a pretty, not really a sad story, but a very, very great, challenging, life and road that I have to take. But I don't want them to pity me. I don't want them to feel bad about me or what happened to me, but I want them to learn from me. I came from a very small town in the Philippines called Libuna, Bukidnon. For sure, Jill knows about this area.
Yes.
And my mom is a farmer. My dad was a policeman. So life was, the resources were meek, and my mom, at an early age, I really saw how hard she worked for her to send me to school. And growing up, my dad left us when we were young, and having or growing up in a single family household. We are five in the family. I'm the youngest of five. But my mom worked very hard. She worked in the field. She have her little negocios here and there,
Mhm.
just to support us family. And my mom provided for us. She worked very hard for her to send me to a private school, even though our resources were very, very slim.
Yep.
And looking back, that gave me a great inspiration for me to provide the life that my mom deserved. Looking back, I can see, sometimes she would just cry because we don't have anything to put in our table. But those precious moments, those moments when you see your hero cry, that's when you realize and really ponder upon, like, what can I do to create change in this family. And at a young age, I really put it in my heart and in my head that I need to be that person to create change in my family, because if not me, who else will do it? Yeah, and I started very hard. I became a university scholar when I was in college. That's where in Cagayan de Oro City. I studied to be a physical therapy, actually. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, so
Oh wow. I
yeah,
didn't
I'm
I
an
know
did
that. I didn't
OT.
know.
physical therapy. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But like when I was doing my minors, I met really wonderful friends, and all of them went to nursing. And without any hesitation, I didn't even tell my mom and my dad that I'm going to be shifting to nursing. And when they attended my graduation, they were like, "Oh, I thought you're a physical therapist, but I graduated as a nurse." But, that was a greatest blessing as well, because being a nurse, I was able to move here in the United States in a
Yes.
2 year span. I graduated 2004, moved here in 2006, and never looked back. Um, it was
Wait.
very hard as well, because I have to work 2, 3 jobs for me to support my NCLEX exam to
Mhm.
work here in the US. And it was tough, but it was really worth it. I moved here 2006, worked in one of the best hospitals in the whole United States.
Mhm.
Didn't know how to drive, don't have any family, don't have any relatives. I just, took that leap of faith, as they say. And when I landed San Francisco, this is my first talk to myself. I was like, oh my God, is this going to be worth it? Am I going to be okay? How am I going to survive in this new country? Because it's like being born, like you don't know anyone. It's like starting everything from square one. But when you have a big goal of making your mom smile and changing your family for the better, I think that would give you an extra boost. It gives you an extra fuel to like keep you going. And running around, sometimes you will miss your bus because you don't know how to get around.
Mhm.
You're trying to understand, we speak English, but white people or American people, they have their slang, and sometimes we don't understand it. And those are some of the cultural differences that I have to adjust, but as they say, fake it till you make it. So I just kept going. I just kept going. And, people laugh at my accent in the beginning. People would give you like a look when you ask them for a ride because you don't know how to drive yet.
Yes.
And
What
yeah,
is the biggest
so
challenge you being away from your family? Because working here, how was it like, especially in the first 2 years?
it was very, very hard. Very, very hard. Uh, I'm not used doing everything for myself, like the cleaning, the cooking, like doing everything, working. And one time I got very, very sick.
Mm-hmm.
I had a flu on my first
Mhm.
year here in America, and that's when I cried so much because I have a pile load of my laundry. I have dishes that I
Yes.
have to wash. Then I still have to drive myself to the doctor to get my medicine, and I have no one to talk to because I was just by myself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Chris, what Wilmer has gone through is very unique for immigrants like us who
Mm-hmm.
left our country to come here and start for a better in search of a better life, and the hardships that he experiences, the challenges of mastering a new culture and new languages, being able to sublimate and bring yourself and into the community and the culture those really prepared him for, the eventual stages of his own personal success. And that's why I think we should never be scared of, hardships and challenges and problems in life, because these are actually training grounds. These are launching pads for whatever is going to be our vision. So I commend Wilmer for transforming that moments of hardship into an opportunity of growth, personal growth.
Yeah, and also going back to his story, I remember I don't know what racism is when I got here in 2010. I didn't know when they mimic your accent, it's like a different
Yes.
race. I for me it's fun because we're doing it in the Philippines. But then if it's somebody else is doing it, it's us like racism. It already kicks in. When I remember when I do door to door during tax season 2020
Mhm.
before April, I do door to door. I tried my best to speak Spanish. I'm not gonna say no for anything. Then this guy, I've been saying, "Hey, this is our service," but in Spanish. I don't want to recall because I don't remember my Spanish no more. And then he said, "Oh, cómo está el coronavirus in China?" I was like, I don't know, but I just handle it with grace that
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm not from China. But I said, we just have to move on, and then we tend to really face all this. I got rejected when I applied for to become like a presenter because of my accent. But you know what? Any setback is a good setup for a good comeback. That's I always say. And but these things, right, Wilmer? These things, like Coach Jill, we do not tell this to our family.
Mhm.
We
Do you
don't.
also do the same? You don't tell all the hardships, you just deliver the result.
Right.
Correct.
Why do you
Especially,
think so?
yeah, especially when you are the foundation of your family or people look up to you.
Right.
You don't have to share the struggle. You just, share the success, and that would paint a better picture for them, and for them to strive better too. Like,
Mhm.
if Tito can do it, or my uncle can do it, they can do it as well.
Right.
Yes.
The other thing too, I think it's human nature to conceal, our pains and the hardship that we go through, because it's a way to protect our family.
Hmm.
In a way, it serves us for a certain time, but if you look long term, I think living your life with authenticity and being able to tell your story from your words, from your own unique perspective, I think they become a window that others can look at. And if you really look at it, like personally with me, the people that I have admired personally, like Oprah, Oprah went through poverty. She was raped at a young age. She was rejected. Even her producer called her as very unfit for television because of her color. She was so dark and she has curly hair. But you know what? Those actually, when she looked back, she said those circumstances really prepared. And when she started telling her story, she moved her audience. She connected with people. So I think in perspective, when we tell our story the way we want it, we will inspire a generations of believers. We will influence a new mindset. And I think that's something that we can all think about as we move forward and tell our unique stories.
Yeah, and then to
Yeah.
our listeners out there, speaking of stories, make sure when you're writing your story, make sure that nobody else is holding the pen but you. And other
Correct.
people's opinion don't need to be your reality because you are a
Mhm.
co-creator of your reality. That's why, guys, if you're listening out there, what is your rejection? You're welcome to type the comment section below because I know we can all relate. And when we can relate, we can find connection, and when there's a connection, we can find support at each other. And that support will serve as power for us to get through in the day to day, right?
Right. I
Now,
have a quick question for
yes.
Wilmer. When you were going through the hardships and difficulties, when you look back at your own personal strength, what are those qualities that you had to dig deep and pulled out to be able to face these very difficult circumstances? So share as one or two personal qualities that you have that became your rallying point as you manage your challenges in life.
Yeah, so to piggyback on what you said a while ago, Jill, I think it's very important for us to, honor our own story,
Mhm.
because our own story will serve an inspiration to other people.
Very good. Mhm.
Yeah, and how did I manage to break through all those difficulties? Number one, it is very important for us to start with our why.
Mhm.
I mean, during the initial phase of my years here in America with all the struggles, I always remind myself, why did you come here anyways? No one asked you to come here in the States, but I came here with an intention to change my family. So that
Mhm.
kept me going. The hardest times, the toughest of times in my life during those years, my why, which is my mom in changing my family, kept me
Right.
going. And having the heart of light lightheartedness, not taking things too deep,
It's serious.
really helped me a lot and brush things off. As they say, you fall, but you stand up, you brush up, you flip your hair, and you just move on.
Yes.
Right. That's wonderful. And to point out what you just mentioned, that it's very important to learn how to take things lightly. Laughter and humor are one of the strongest human characters that we can, as we face very difficult circumstances. Even Walt Disney, when he was starting his company, he was fired for not being too creative. But when he started using that sense of humor, he created that character Mickey Mouse. And
Mhm.
when he had that, that became a gold mine for him. So converting our sense of humor, the way we see things, lightly, and convert that, it can be a product that we can bring success to the rest of the world. So I commend you for having those important qualities.
Exactly. And that's, I think that's what people that are achievers and eagles, successful people, we always look forward. We always want to fail forward,
Mhm.
not dig deeper of what things didn't go well. What you're saying, Wilmer, it really reflected that when there will come a time that you're planning to give up, always look back and remember the reason why you started. And this reason is the why. And those
Right.
why are the people that you love and care the most, that you're
Mhm.
willing to give everything and you're willing to put that smile on your face because you don't want them to worry.
Right.
Despite of the pandemic situation, people are asking left and right, are you okay? Right? We're reaching our family, love us, but they really worried about us. But you don't want them that kind of unnecessary worries. You got this. You always pat yourself at the back, and sometimes you're just driving. You don't know what's going
Right.
to happen, but at the end of the day, you're looking back. I want to go to the Philippines. I want to have a vacation and have a Christmas and New Year with my mom and my dad. Ra- on my end, because one thing that my mom said last November, I have no plans to go to the Philippines because I don't know if I'm a carrier. You could be
Yeah.
like asymptomatic,
Mhm.
but then my mom called me. She said, uh, Chris, I think if you can have a chance to go home, even though she's just joking, maybe we can celebrate holidays together. Maybe this will be the last holidays.
Wow.
And I was like, so, ma'am, why are you saying that? It's just like I'm trying to like put sense of humor
Mhm.
about it.
Yeah.
Mom, you know what? It
Very
could be end of the world, but you're still the one woman surviving. So,
good. Right.
but at the back of my head, it hurts me. It
Right.
hurts me because it's something that she already thought across, where
Mhm.
she's checking all the Facebook and then seeing all these uh parents that passed away, but the son, the daughter were not able to go home because they
Right.
are frontliners,
Right.
because they are serving other people where they cannot find time to go back home. And this is where the pivoting moment for Welmer. How did you, I know we're making so much money, but is that really the definition of success to you?
It's not. At one point, money can just be. It's not really everything. I mean, money is money. It's like air. We need it, but it's not really everything in life.
Mhm.
So that's why it's very important. Number one, you have to define what success means to you, because if you don't have a true definition of success, you'll just be like
Mhm.
going hitting different target. The journey is not going to be as fulfilling. And initially in my life, I was really shooting for that word success. But as I mature,
Right.
I'm really shooting for significance.
Right.
Because when we are shooting for success, it's like a never-ending road. But when you're shooting for significance,
Yeah. Mhm.
life's journey becomes more powerful and
That's very
meaningful.
powerful. Yeah, to stress
Yeah,
that
that's why.
point, earlier
Mhm.
you mentioned how important it was for you to understand the why. So to dig it deeper, when we ask that question, why are we fighting for the causes that we want? What's the driving force behind that? When we ask that question, it gives us that sense of purpose, and when you have that sense of purpose, you live a meaningful life. And that's why I think at the end of the day, we may want, success may mean different things for all of us. But when you strive for significance, that is when you bring value to the world. You bring your skills and your talents and change and make impact. At the end of the day, people that have truly become phenomenal and very, very influential are those that leaves behind a significant amount of work. Yeah. So I think it's very important to find that legacy, that significance, that value, your work, your words, your actions, and how that can impact a community, how it can impact and change your family and your friends.
Exactly. And talking about significance, I said that the true value of life, it's not how much money you're making. It's
Mhm.
how much value you're putting to somebody else's life. The words of encouragement, the words of empowerment, to give that kind of small word of wisdom that might give them hope in the
Right.
world that they are helpless and hopeless. And that is the value and the legacy and significance that what Welmer and Jill are talking about. Let's all spread that kind of kindness instead of, they said, when you say something negative, it's like in a glass of water, you put it there, you're just making the other person really, really helpless and hopeless in the
Mhm.
situation. Also, when I see definition of success, this is how, what I define. I have a group chat with our friends. When you say go back to reality, remember when you're in a trip, in a vacation for 30 days or 2 months, when you tell to yourself, okay, I'm gonna go back to my reality, is that something that makes you excited? If it's not something that makes you excited, that is not a definition of success.
Right.
You are just surviving,
Mhm.
right? But remember, in life, it's a choice,
Mhm. It
and you have
is.
the power to change that reality to become something enjoyable, to become something that you're looking
Mhm.
forward. Like, yes, I'm excited to go back to work, or I'm
Right.
excited
Mhm.
to to handle all these clients. So no matter what you are or where you are, success is just between you and yourself. You will be the one to define where you want to go and how far you've come, and that's success. Whether you're a full-time teacher, you're a full-time mom, you're a full-time entrepreneur, that is the true definition of success. Then because of that, I know that pivoting and challenging times, this is where the awakening happens for
Mhm.
Welmer to put his own business. And how did it all started?
Yeah, so I have three. I have actually. I'm gonna share 2 points wherein it's like the turning point of my life. Number one, when I was still working as a nurse, I worked two jobs. Sometimes I only sleep 3 hours, 4 hours, because I have to send money to the Philippines. And
Yeah.
one time when we coded a patient, there was this 65-year-old nurse pushing the code card, and I was like, "Oh my God, she's so slow." And then as she was like walking towards me, that's when I realized, my goodness, if I'm not going to do something different from that person, that is going to be my life 10, 20
Mhm.
years. And I was like, I was so scared. I was so, so scared. So I've been constantly looking out there, opportunities wherein I can break my current cycle.
Right.
The second turning point is when I lost my biggest why in life. I always tell everyone my life, my driving force is really my mom. And when you mentioned, Chris, the first time my mom had a stroke, I can't go home because I have to send money to the Philippines. And in healthcare in the Philippines, it's very, very expensive.
Very
Your one
expensive.
million peso is like nothing. It's like water. So,
Exactly.
and the second time when she cannot move her leg, I was like, I thought she had another stroke. And that's when I told myself, you have to go home, you have to go home, you have to go home. And I booked my ticket right there and then. And on my way home, when I landed Ninoy Aquino International Airport, Terminal 3, this is very, very significant to me, Terminal 3. When I was crossing from international to
Mm.
domestic airport, I called my niece at 4 in the morning. I think it was like 4:30 in the morning. And I was like, because I formulated everything in my head. What am I gonna do with my mom? My mom is gonna be discharged a week after I landed in the Philippines. This is a treatment that she's gonna be doing. After a week, me and my family are gonna go on vacation. But
Mhm.
when I landed Nino International Aquino Airport, I called my niece and I asked my niece, "How's mom?" And that's when they told me like my mom passed away on my way home.
Mhm.
And I was like so devastated because that greatest why in your life is gone
Yeah.
just like and I could not hold my tears in an airport. I have to cover myself with like a towel because I could not stop crying.
Mhm.
And I still have to wait 2 more hours layover, 2 more hours flight, and I still have to drive from our airport going to hospital. And I was like, my first question was like, how come you didn't wait for me? I'm
Mhm.
going home already. And those devastating part of my life, that's when I realized like, my God, the world will really not stop for us.
No. No.
It will never stop for us. And looking back now, like I can speak to this event in my life. I can't, I can't cry anymore. But
Right.
before, I always cry. And the reason why I can't cry anymore, it's because I want to honor my mom's life. I wanna dedicate my life to
Yeah.
honor hers. And
Yeah.
another time too, when my dad passed away, I was on Facebook. We were just chatting, and his heart just stopped. And I was
Wow.
crossing the bridge in San Francisco.
Mhm.
But this event transformed who I
Yeah.
am. This event made
Definitely.
me who I am.
Mhm.
Wilmer, I share a lot of those personal stories because I lost my mom and my dad too. So I know what you're going through. But when I think of those moments, actually, it's part of death and loss are part of our human experiences. They teach us about the value of life, the value of time, and the essence of how important it is to live high quality lives and meaningful lives,
Yes.
purposeful lives. And so I'm really happy that you were able to convert those moments of sadness to be an inspirational moments for you. We call those breakthroughs as eureka moments, when you realize that the sad moments are there to remind you of your great love for them, but they can also make you live life deeper.
Yeah, and
Yes.
that's what we have this conversation I think last month, Wilmer. I
Yeah.
was really like teary-eyed, to be honest, because all of us
Mhm.
are feeling the same of
Yeah.
longing with our loved ones.
Yeah.
But then it is not the situation. It is only 10%, but
Yeah.
90% of the result is what are you going to do about it?
What you could
And that
Correct.
exactly.
is why talking
Mhm.
about the result, is it very difficult and challenging to transition from being an employee mindset to becoming like an entrepreneur mindset? How did it
It's
go for
it's
you?
very, very difficult because as Filipino, majority of us are really trained to become a good employee.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And when you start something new out from the norm and
Right.
really going against the
Mhm.
grain, people talk.
Mhm.
Why are
Right.
you doing that? Why are you doing that? You're a nurse, blah 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 blah. And no
Mhm.
one believes your vision.
Exactly. So
Mhm.
according to Les Brown, it was Les Brown always says, you guys have to follow it. Les Brown, he says, this vision is given to you. It is not given to them. That's why they're not seeing it. And you're the one
Yeah.
seeing and believing it. So that's why it's called vision. It was given to you and it's meant for you. And you
Yeah.
don't have a lot of 99 people to believe in it. You only need one person who has the same vision. Then you can go from there. You don't need to see 100 miles. You only have to take few steps, because when you get there, you will know how to get further.
Chris, what the other thing too is, like with me, with as a coach, and I always, when I work with people, I always encourage them to treat and consider criticism as really teachable moments.
Yeah.
Your bashers, your detractors are exist for a reason. Actually, they are there to inspire you to be better.
And
They
then
are there. I'm sorry.
the word scam is has been somebody told, people will call you, oh, it's a scam. But those people that call you scammer are the people asking for money to their friends and they're not paying back.
Right.
TBH, not
Yeah.
NGL,
So
not going to lie. To be honest, these people has that kind of mindset. How can a parachute works if their mind is not open?
right.
So
So
that's
it's
why it's the
very
same people.
so it's very important to have a unique mindset of be open to those criticism and see how those criticisms fit into your life. If they don't have value to your life, put them in the back burner. If they have a value, use that to fuel and propel you to your next level of growth and development.
Mhm.
Yeah. I want to piggyback on that one, Jill, because
Yeah.
I really live my life just the way you told, these people here. Because the way I see things, number one, do not take criticism from people who are not fighting the same battle as you are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's number one. Second, if those friends, family don't share the same value as what you are going or what
Right.
you're doing, put them on the side. Still love them, but keep
Good.
going on your vision.
Good.
Then
Yeah,
when
I
you
remember.
are shining and you are bright and you are helping a lot of people, then you can go back to them and share your vision so that they will have more belief in you.
Yeah.
You put them on the side, it doesn't mean you don't love them. You just
No.
care a lot for them and you care a lot about you and your vision.
And that's where being assertive, defining where people and how we treat their true friends, they're gonna support us. My
Correct.
father always tells me that sell your dreams to poor people, they're gonna be the first one to kill that. And poor
Yes,
people doesn't mean that they don't have the money and the
The
resources.
money.
They're just
Yeah.
very short in terms of their mindset, in terms of their thinking. They're not
correct.
forward thinking, they're thinking backwards. They want to pull you down. So what you want to do is take ownership of that dream, take ownership of that vision, and bring it to the next level. And that's how you succeed in life.
Yes, actually, that's true. Uh, Love of the family. Our brain, Mel Robbins always said, our brain is there by default to protect us from any harm that we're not comfortable. That's why when my mom is telling me, how can you do all of this? How can you? Because I don't want to be like risking as a decision maker and then captain of the ship. She was expressing me how she was so scared because she's been an employee for 25 years. But they are loving parents.
Yeah,
But they can be overprotective to the point that they
protective.
will don't want you to suffer because they will feel the pain as well.
Yeah,
They're there to guard you, but at the same time, what I do encourage everyone, when you want something that you've never had, do something that you've never done, but you don't have to tell every details to your family. You
yeah.
just have to deliver the result. And that's how
Filter.
it's gonna work. You tell it to the people that are been there, who are the support people when how you were introduced with this business, Welmer, and that is will be right what you're doing right now, correct?
Yeah, so I was introduced by a coworker, and I see the vision right there when I first heard this opportunity of really helping people to make their money work for them. Because immigrants, my goodness, we work so hard. We're like capable
Oh yeah.
people, but
Mhm.
majority of immigrants, majority of healthcare worker still live paycheck to paycheck, and I think that's very sad. And we got to break that cycle. So that's where the vision is coming from here. And
Mhm.
it started with me cleaning my backyard, and now I'm helping other people clean their own backyard as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
It's
if
all
you don't
about
do
discipline.
something, the cycle will just continue, and your kids will inherit
Yeah.
everything.
And that's why people are thinking, Coach Jill and Wilmer, that when you become an entrepreneur, oh my God, you're very affluent, you have luxury of money and tons of money,
Yeah.
but they don't know you're the last one to be paid. You have to
Yeah.
Right.
think about your employees
Correct.
first. And then I just don't like the idea of people asking for discounts.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Right.
When you offer, when you go to your friend, oh, do not have that kind of mind. I would better not accommodate you, to be honest, because you're here.
Right.
We're trying to make our living based on the sales, and these sales will feed
Exactly.
the employees that we have, and the last person that will be paid is you. For the
Right.
past 3 years in America, I never had a car. I have to borrow. My
Right.
manager gave me the bike. My friend, I always render my service. Do you think I can serve? Do you think my character is good enough for me to have your car for 2 years? I will do my best. But
Yeah.
I have to send $300, $700 to my family, to my twin brother in the rehab. That's how I train myself. And then when people are devaluing you by asking discounts, you're too expensive. They should know already your value before they even ask your service. But if
Right.
not, if you guys are asking for discount, do not ask for the discount, especially if it's your friend's business, because you don't know how many almost bankruptcy they file, how many sleepless nights they do, how many holidays they take, how many rejections and
Right.
racism they took. But they're not gonna tell that to you.
Yeah.
They're
Chris,
just gonna
in
deliver.
reality, our friends, our closest friends, and our families can be our worst critics
Yeah.
sometimes. And sometimes their expectations does not match the reality that you have to face as an entrepreneur. That's why it's very important to detach yourself and learn to draw the boundaries and say, hey, if that comments or if those criticisms is going to help nurture my dream, great, I'll take that with a grain of salt. But if it does not serve you any purpose, your goal as an entrepreneur is to continue. And like with Wilmer, he's using all of those challenges, all of those comments about not doing everything. He's bringing that to that higher level of purpose, which is to educate people about the importance of financial literacy. Well, right now he may have gone through some of those challenges, but the value and the result in the future of the lives that he's gonna change is gonna be more than what he ever asked for. That's the kind of life of value that you will bring into this world, Wilmer, and I think that's admirable.
Oh, thank you so much, Jill. Thank
And
you.
to our audience, Wilmer, you are already, it's the time and financial freedom. You're there,
Yeah.
and then you're striving. What would be your greatest takeaways and advice to our listeners out there?
Okay. 3 points. Number one,
Mhm.
life doesn't happen to us, it's for us. So whatever you're experiencing, whatever you're going through, it will give you a lesson if you'll find the reason what lesson that is.
Mhm.
Second,
Okay.
we can only connect the dot looking backwards. And honor your own unique stories, because your unique stories will be an inspiration for you and others to chase that success that everyone is looking for. And number three, this is very, very important. Success has no life.
Mhm.
It's you who breathe life to success.
Very
So what
true.
do we mean by that? You have to nurture your vision. Take ownership to your dream, right? Breathe life to your dream, because at the end of the day, that vision, that dream was given to you and was handed to you. Make sure you work for it. And let people know that you're there to realize your dream, and
Mhm.
let them realize, like, every micro effort that you do will create a macro effect of realizing your truest potential as a person.
That's
Yes.
That's
beautiful.
That's very
That's beautiful.
beautiful. Like a ripple effect, a droplet of water can create an extraordinary impact. Like this, we're having the live chat. Who knows? There will be other people that are listening that might, but inspire and then do something in their situation. What's your greatest takeaway, Jill, with the challenges and all the success that you've accomplished that people can hear?
Right. The beauty of life is that we always have the experiences that we go through, and these experiences can range from sadness, from hardships. These are really training grounds for us, and like what
Mhm.
Wilmer has shown us, that this hardship, these obstacles are just temporary. What he did was drawing from his own personal strength and converted that, and he created his own ownership to his dreams, to his vision. And that's why he's bringing, as we see now, he's bringing that value to the community. He's changing lives, he's touching um, families, and making them be prepared for their eventual retirement, for their emergency situations. So we have seen an example of a great man who's gone through hardships, but never
Mhm.
allowed those obstacles to limit him, but rather allowed that moments to propel him. That to me is my greatest takeaway.
Correct. And that's why we would like to wrap it up on all this. My greatest takeaway with you guys, to all your inspiring stories and experience. Do not use, for viewers out there, do not use your past against your present in creating your future, but use your past as a fuel to
Yeah,
fertilize the soil of the present for you to create a bountiful future.
right.
And John Maxwell always says success should be enjoyed in a day to day basis. Look on the things that from the time that you wake up, write six things that that you have. Be thankful on the things that what you have, and be hopeful on the things that you want to have. And that is the value
Beautiful.
of true living, and that is the value of true success. Anyways, guys, our time is up. Thank you for watching. Now,
Thank you.
Welmer, thank you very much. He's from California, guys. If you want to know more of their services, you're welcome to contact him directly. His information is part of the group. And then also our coach Jill, as a life coach, as a finance expert. We have Welmer. We have the best of both worlds, right? Money, life, finances, and also we would
Thank
like
you,
to
Chris.
promote on the next. We do this every second and fourth of Thursday, 8 a.m. Central Time. I would like to promote our next topic. This is for our employers, how to retain, the different retention strategy to keep your employees. No other than our speaker is no other than, he has a 250,000 followers in the Philippines, in the Philippine HR group, the vice president of human resource global HR operations, founder and president of this 250,000
Yeah.
members. That's why I'm so excited to hear from him. He's no other than Coach Darwin Rivers. Guys, if you like this content, please click and share and subscribe today. If you have more questions or comments, let me know. Comment below. Again, I'm Christopher, CEO and founder of Wyco Tax, a virtual outsource for tax and payroll bookkeeping service solution. Now, thank you guys, as here in Chris and
Thank
Jill.
you.
Thank you, Walmart. Thank you, Jill. Thank you to all of you, because in Chris and Jill live chat, we are promoting and serving the global entrepreneurs to inspire, educate, and empower. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Jill.
Thank
everyone.
you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.